All right, my friends, welcome to another episode of the RPG Backlog. This is Prof Plays Games, Larry, and over there is my friend Scott. And this is episode 2 of our Undertale run. Last time, we went through the ruins and then got into and through Snowdin. And this time, we tackled only Waterfall. So the beginning of Waterfall all the way through to whatever happened with Undyne, which apparently, based on our conversations off mic, Scott, different things can happen.
Yes, very different.
Yeah. So in general, I just want to say that this is the Snowdin was the place where the game really made sense to me in terms of why people really like it. And then this one is the one that made sense to me in terms of why people find it to be emotional. Because just to cut to the end, I battled Undyne and tried to spare her and couldn't. And she basically was losing her body and turning into a spirit, basically dissolving before my eyes. And I was trying to spare her, and she wouldn't let me because of what I had done to her friends, because I've been murdering everybody, basically. And then I just put her out of her misery and killed her, and she is dead. And it was very, very sad. The music changes, and her attacks become slower, and it's very clear that this is not something I should be doing, and I did it anyways.
Right.
And it was hard to do.
I watched the stream, and I saw that when the attacks slow down, and she's still saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm still gonna hold on." And then she's very weakly trying to hit you, and you're just very easily blocking her blows. And and then you see her form dissolves, and then she melts.
Yeah, it was so well done, because you have this box where these arrows are coming in at you, and you have a shield to block your heart, and you have to move the shield to block the arrows coming in. It's very fast at some points, and then as she's dying, it becomes so slow, and it's a very pixelated representation of a battle that was one of the most emotional battles I've ever had in a video game, and it was it just tells you how constructed, how things are written maybe matter more than what it looks like, because it doesn't look awesome compared to the games that I play now, but
right.
I was so affected by it. So it was different than yours. You told me that.
Yeah. The representation is very abstract. It's not even like you don't see her swinging her or stabbing you with the spears or whatever, but it's just you have moving a little heart around while spears are stabbing at you or something. And in a little box, and you can't even see yourself. It's very abstracted, but even so, you can, the writing, the dialogue, the music, the presentation, I don't know, just creates this sadness. You feel the sadness of her dying.
Yeah, she's dying trying to protect her friends from this murdering child, which is me. And then the music just turns to that very slow, sad piano music, and it's just it's so simple and so well done. It really is incredible, considering if you just think about budget, how much budget it was to put this game together versus I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and that's just oh god, it's how many millions and millions of dollars they spent. And I'm more emotional in this game, and that's kind of what I'm looking for in these RPG experiences, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny, too. You think about, you're playing this little kid, you're going around in an old tutu with some smacking monsters with ballet shoes. That's your weapon, is ballet shoes. Yeah. And you're killing them.
Isn't that amazing? It's how is this killing you? I was playing a game with my daughter earlier on Guard. It's a female sword fighter, and the enemies they don't die when you defeat them. They kind of call out oh, I'm going back to my mom, or mom, please help me. They don't actually die. My wife was well, that's really violent. I'm they don't die. But I have a sword and they don't die. I have a sword, they don't die, but here I have ballet shoes, and these monsters are just dying left and right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get
the signs are peppered throughout that kind of tell the story of the monsters being trapped in the ground.
Mm-hmm. Can't see the stars anymore.
Right, and the humans have these powerful souls that destroy monster souls or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because it says in Waterfall there's a section a sign that says boss, quote unquote, boss monsters have their souls can persist or can last past death or something. At least for a little while, I think it says.
And that's not the one. That's not the yellow name thing, is it?
No. Oh, I also wanted to say I was like kind of rewatching your streams like on double time to like, because Waterfall is so big, I wanted to make sure I remembered all of it for this recording. And I was watching you play, and I'm just like, yellow means mercy. Yellow means mercy. Because you'd be fighting monsters, and their name turns yellow, and you're just like continuing to beat on them or talk to them or something like that. I'm like, yellow means mercy. I'm trying to yell through the screen.
Let them go, you murdering hobo! Oh my gosh. Okay, so one thing you should know about me is that I'm not very good at picking up on details. Okay, that makes sense. So maybe if I had the option to give mercy in the next time, when you're battling someone, their name is white, and when their name turns yellow, then you can give them mercy.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, maybe I'll remember that for next time. Because oh my
for their
god,
sakes, I hope so.
Yes, exactly. God, I don't want to be killing everybody. I swear.
Yeah. Oh. I forgot what I was saying before I said that. All the signs, yeah, and like boss monsters, it says could like last longer or something. And I think that is what happens with Undine. Like you kill her, and then she like pulls herself together and still is trying to fight. And then you kill her some more. And she like pulls herself together, and like on the stream, you're like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be a third phase."
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But actually, she just melts.
Yep.
Like she just can't hold her soul together anymore, or something.
Yeah, because it was that first battle where I, barely beat her. I had used every health item I had, and then she came back for a second round, basically, or second phase, and I was like, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
But it was fine because then the second time it was much. I got the system, so it's much easier to keep my health up.
Right, yeah, I saw that the second time around. You were dodging the attacks much easier, and you were doing much better in terms of performance, combat.
Well, it has some cool twists too, because like the yellow arrows that come at you are opposite, so you get to like really.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I felt like Beat Saber a little bit, where you're. I don't know if you played that. Game. Yeah.
No, but actually, the yellow arrows, if you have your shield facing them when they approach, then they switch around and try and hit you from the other side. If you don't have your shield facing them and just switch it at the last second, then you catch them. Oh,
I thought they always were the opposite.
Yeah, I thought so too, but then I was getting, I don't know, just like me flailing around, I discovered that you can block them on the first pass if you reorient your shield at the last second.
Got it. Okay, that's.
So if they see your shield coming, then they flip around and try and hit you from the back.
Well, I thought that whole fight was cool because, like, even in that fight, there were several different ways to stages of the fight, basically. But however many different ways Toby Fox, who created the game, is having to represent battle. There was another battle in this sequence in Waterfall where I can't remember exactly what the enemy was, but they shoot rockets at you, and you have to like run around to avoid the rock. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was the dummy, and then have the dummy hit itself with its own rockets, basically, or whatever they were.
Right, because you can't hurt ghosts.
Yeah,
and it's like dummy possessed by a ghost.
Yeah.
So that was like the first sort of divergence, I guess. It was kind of the same thing for my side, but for you, because you had beaten up that dummy in like the ruins, like one of the first things you do. The dummy ghost is like, you killed my cousin, and I'm gonna destroy you or something like that.
It was very hostile.
Whereas I hadn't done that, but it was still very hostile because I had like disrespected. Oh, I had disrespected its cousin by just talking to it and then letting Toriel, the mom monster, interrupt us or something.
Oh, so like, either way, it was going to be mad at you.
Either way, he's mad at you and he attacks you.
Got it.
But but to go back to Undine, Undine.
I was thinking Undying because it doesn't die, but then I killed it, so I was like, maybe not. Maybe not. Not so undying now, huh? Right.
I mean, the name with a spell with an I instead of a Y is like a water spirit from myth. I actually looked up what the actual pronunciation was, and it's Undine. So I've been calling her Undine, but
yeah, that's probably right then.
But who knows? Whatever. It's a fancy name. You could pronounce it however you want. So when I got to that fight at the end of Waterfall, she appears. She's like, I'm going to tell you my history. And then she's like, no, I won't. I'll just attack you.
I love that. I'm not going to monologue.
Like the camera tilts to the side. It's like very dramatic. And then you're like, oh, shit. And I started off like pleading with her. And it's like, she doesn't care. And like, I just click pleading again. Because sometimes if you do something multiple times, it'll have an effect.
Yeah.
It did not have an effect. and she's like beating me up. So like, all right, fine, I'll fight. I fight, and I see what her health bar is, and it's like huge. It's way beyond anything you've ever fought so far in the game. Like she has like 3 times the health of any other monster that I've seen, and I'm like, this is not winnable. Like I'm getting beat up by the the spears and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And I cannot sustain like the damage I'm doing to her versus the damage she's doing to me. Like I'm gonna lose no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to Mercy, and then one of the options is like spare, but also there's a flee, which is interesting because when I was watching yours, she says while your heart is green and your heart starts off green, you can't run away or you can't flee. And so I did something, I'm not sure what. Maybe it was the pleading turned my heart to not green because I was able to flee. I had that option.
Mine turned red in the battle a couple of times. It did. I don't remember why. But it did. So when you're red, you can flee. I
assume so, because I didn't really think of it at the time. I was just like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah.
And so I went over to the Mercy, and I flee was there. It was an option. And I selected it, and you flee. You get out of the combat. And I was like, oh my god, that's great. Like the combat's over. And then like I moved like 2 steps, and then she attacks again.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, okay. And so I flee again, and it works. And I move like more steps because now I'm ready for it. And I get a little further, and then she attacks again. And I just keep doing that. Like I have to like weather like an attack each time.
Mm-hmm.
But I get all the way up from that cave entrance, and then you go past like the river with the ice blocks in it, and then it turns to the right, and there's like some kind of like welcome sign or something. And I got her all the way to Hotland without fighting her.
Oh.
And then you get to Hotland, and there's like this like wooden bridge, and there's like a water pool at the other side, right? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, I think I got a cup of water from there when I got to Hotland.
Yeah, so you got a cup of water, and then you went to the next screen where the save point is, and that says the water evaporates, and so does the cup.
Exactly.
So anyway, so I got to the wooden bridge, and she's following me, and she collapses on the bridge from heat exhaustion because of her armor.
Oh, sure.
And it's so hot. And so then I get to the other side, and she's like not moving, and there's a water cooler. So I'm like, okay. And I get a cup of water, and I bring it to her and give her the water. And she, gets up and just like leaves. Like, I don't know how to process this, Like, you saved my life. And
does she talk at all? She doesn't say anything? She just...
It was a couple of days ago I did it, so I don't quite remember. I wish I had a recording. I didn't realize that you would just, like, leap into the attack. I mean, I guess I should have realized. But you just, were just fighting her right at the gate and beat her, which I didn't think was even possible. So I was sort of, like, blown away that there was even, like, a different way to resolve it.
Oh, like when you're watching mine and I beat her?
Right, because I was like, there's no way when I was doing it, it's not possible to take away that much health.
Yeah.
And not die myself. But, it is possible you did it.
Yeah. I didn't know it was possible to not do it. Oh, man, this game is wild.
So in my game, Undine's still alive.
Interesting.
Which it's a little different. I think she was still chasing me when Papyrus calls, because he calls.
Yeah, and says we shall hang out.
Yeah, and you're like... Oh, hell.
I got something to tell you, my friend. I felt
for me,
so bad.
She was like chasing me at the time and trying to kill me. And I'm like, well, she does not want to be my friend. I was trying. Like I was pleading with her. I was, doing everything I could to like run away, like not engage. Because, I did kill the dog people. She brings it up.
Yeah.
The dog marshals or whatever. The married dogs.
The married dogs, yeah.
Yeah, I did kill them. And I'm like, I don't want to kill anyone anymore. I've been like figuring out how to get out of fights without killing things.
Yeah.
Which is like a little puzzle every time.
Yeah, because you don't know. I guess for me, you mentioned earlier where you do something that doesn't work and you're like, well, I have a limited pool of health. I don't want to keep getting smacked.
Right.
The quickest way through is to fight back, I guess. But I wonder what the point of the game is in terms of that dilemma. to fight or not to fight, or maybe it doesn't matter. Either way, there's something. But I don't know. I feel like it's saying something, about...
I mean, it was funny too, because when you were fighting Undine, I was watching, she says, like, you killed them because it was easy for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
and like, yes, that is true. It's so much easier to just press the fight button and smack them until they die, versus like having to apply the brain power to like, and then even like the interface is like, you have to like exit out a fight, you have to go over to act, you have to see what the different choices are, you have to try them out. They might not work.
It's like brain power and patience, and
yes.
So, I guess sometimes, because of my limited gaming time, like I've got an hour tonight, I want to make progress. I don't want to redo this 6 times, and if you mess up the choices, you have to redo it. But there's probably some value in, I mean, I feel I have been thinking about it ever since that night that I played it. Like, I feel terrible, and it's kind of a cool feeling that the game is eliciting that from me. I don't know this Undine character very well, but the way that they did it is haunting me a little bit, and I can see why people have continued to talk about this game nearly 10 years after it came out.
Yeah,
for that reason.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think in terms of like it's saying something. I think it's saying that aggression is easy or fighting is easy. Doesn't actually solve the problem, and actually like working to find like common ground or a real solution. I mean, that's kind of a easy answer. I don't know, but it seems like how the mechanics.
That's what it's saying,
yeah. So like for example, there's a monster you run into a lot in Waterfall that was kind of like a turtle connected to a bathtub with a bird.
Oh, is that the one that you wash?
Yeah, if you ask it to clean you, I think like twice, then you can do a mercy and spare it.
And I did that, yeah.
Well,
didn't I? I thought I did.
You figured it. You got to the point where it turned yellow, and then you were like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna kill it."
Oh Jesus! I thought, okay, because I let him clean me. I thought that I could have saw him a couple times. I thought I spared him once, maybe not.
It's possible, yeah.
Well, I mean, whether I
you run into them a bunch. You run into a bunch of them,
yeah,
or the same one. Is it like a monster? Is it several monsters? Like I don't know.
Yeah, wash. I'm at that part of the video right now. Oh, yep, his name was definitely yellow. Yep, and he's trying to clean me, and I'm trying to hit the green water.
Right, the green water like heals you, I think, a little bit.
Yeah. Yep, continues cleaning. Interesting. I wonder what happens at the end of this. I forget.
I think you kill him.
It's very likely. Let's see here. Cleaning. Oh yeah, no, because he kept cleaning me. And then I guess the point is that he cleans you enough that you can spare him.
Yeah.
But I'm not noticing that I can spare him. I'm like, what? This just keeps working over and over. It's the same thing over and over. I guess I'll just kill him.
I'll just hit him until he dies.
God. Oh boy. I'm not the right person to be playing this game, apparently.
But it's so like if it was like more like a 3D like realized world, the action of you hitting these defenseless monsters over and over again until they die, I think would bring home, it would be like a very visceral reminder of what you're doing. Whereas here it's so abstracted, you're like, oh, fight, whatever. Like, I just press the bar and it does damage. It's just numbers.
Yeah, I think I'm finally at the point in the game now where I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be this person that I have been up until now. Because I can get to the end being a different person. Yeah, no, I'm looking here. I've had him wash me about 7 times in a row.
Right, you kept on doing it, and then you got sick of it, and then you killed him.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah, I just forget that the mercy option is there at the end.
Right, I guess not. We're trained by other RPGs to just like solve problems with violence.
Yeah, and I feel like that's certainly part of the meta commentary here. Like other RPGs, like it's just murdering, but you can do something else. Nope. Hey, no. I spared him right there.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes. I want everyone to know it. 21 minutes in, what is this? Undertale Part 4? That's not right. Can't be Part 4. Oh, yeah, it is. Undertale Part 4. I spared him. I did it once at least then. Okay.
Yeah. So congratulations. And like you other things too, like the seahorse that wants to like flex. Like,
Oh yeah, I
both
did
figured
spare
out
him.
that if you flex enough,
Yep.
he'll flex himself out of the fight.
Out. Yeah, exactly. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, they're all pretty funny. And the other thing too is like a lot of the monsters are just they're not actually like monsters. They're just like people or things.
Yeah.
Like the jellies, you can just I think spare those like right away sometimes. Like you don't even have to do anything.
Oh, that makes sense because you can just hit them once and they're all dead.
Yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense. There's got to be something where if you can get through this game without killing anything, which when you level up, you're gaining HP. So I feel like there's got to be some skill to it to get through it.
Right, because you do not level up if you spare everybody.
Yeah, you don't get any EXP. You get some gold, but no EXP.
Yeah.
But you know, Waterfall in general, like towards the end when Undyne was throwing spears through the ground, you know, that whole puzzle there was kind of interesting.
The whole sequence, the whole like old waterfall, like it starts off with you hiding in the grass and Iris talking to Undyne. It's like the first time you see her, and she's this very imposing figure, you know, wearing like this dark suit of full plate armor and has like this glowing blue spear. And then several times throughout Waterfall, she attacks you, and you have to just run away from her.
Yeah.
Like there's one where the spears coming up from the ground. There's one where she's just like throwing spears in the air. I feel like there's another time too. And you're usually like being saved by. Yeah. Oh, what's that?
I just remember the ground coming through the ground and coming kind of diagonally down at you through the air.
Yeah, those two. And there's that little yellow monster that saves you that one time.
Yeah, and that's the one who like is really likes Undyne. I almost feel like a fan club for Undyne.
It's like her biggest fan.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay, I just killed Undyne. So am I going to see you later in the game and you're going to be like hella pissed at me? Probably. You know, I'm setting myself for like heartache for the rest of this game about how much of a monster I am to get out of here.
I hope not. I hope it's not that grim.
But boy, I don't know at this point. I feel like it's headed toward that way. Just the way that I feel. Basically, every podcast that we have now, just like how much remorse I have for how I played. But yeah. I'm really enjoying it. Every area seems quite different than the others, and there's new stuff to do. The battles are all very different. It doesn't get stale, and maybe that's part of the appeal of it long term is that it doesn't, so far at least, is not outlasting or outstaying its welcome. I mean, yeah. I love that scene where you're running away from Undyne and she finally catches you. The little yellow guy is there, and they're like, "Oh, Undyne, you're gonna totally wreck whoever you're going after." And then they like look at you and look at Undyne, and they realize that you're the target. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, what?"
Didn't they leave at that point?
Yeah, or Undyne, that saves you. Is like Undyne grabs the little guy and drags them off, and then you're free to go.
Right. Yep.
And then later on, because they're always tripping whenever they run away, the little yellow guy is always tripping.
Yep.
And there's that part where they trip and then like almost fall off a bridge, and you save them, and Undyne sees you save them. And then the little monster is like on your side and says to Undyne, like, "You have to go through me if you want to."
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Kill my friend or whatever.
Yeah, because Undyne like goes through. I don't know if it was at that part, but Undyne's like going through the grass where you're hiding, and then reaches down and grabs not you, but the friend. Oh my god. Yeah.
So, and there's the other thing too is that the story says that they need like a certain number of human souls to break free. You know, the imprisonment of the monsters is presented as an injustice.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they're trying to capture humans, right? They said they have 4 and they need five, or they have 5.
They have 6 and they need 1 more. So yours.
7. Yeah, you. Exactly.
So you have the power. I guess you could sacrifice yourself to maybe set them free.
And that's the part of the story that makes me think, okay, like I have justification for fighting back, is that they're trying to, whatever the thing is, ritually sacrifice me or whatever it is.
Right.
But that doesn't come up very often. You know, certainly the lore moving through with the signs and things like that. But
right.
and it was mentioned several times. But I wonder if, as part of I'll say a pacifist run of this game, is you ultimately defeating yourself for their sake? I don't know.
Right. You're just a kid trying to get home. Like, is it really up to you to... If it... I mean, we don't know what it involves. They want to capture you and take your soul, is what they say. But does that mean you're going to die? Or does that just mean...
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I think of it as you're going to die, but that's probably not it. But yeah, for you, for all intents of the story, is that you've fallen in a hole. You want to get back home.
Right.
Yeah,
but, you're just like this little kid.
Yeah.
Who is a terror.
Well, my version is a terror. How many? I think my kill count was like 29 or something like that. Yours is maybe much lower, or you don't even have one?
It doesn't even say.
Oh, wow.
So I definitely killed some, but I don't know how many.
I wonder if there's a threshold. Like, how much is some, do you think?
Maybe like a dozen?
Okay.
I definitely, like, in the beginning, I didn't think anything of it.
Sure.
And then it wasn't until I think you get to Snowden, the town, and you see that thing, but about the Christmas presents for the dog couple. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, oh, wait, did I kill them? Like, I thought they were just like, funny animals. It was, beating, it's just numbers. It's abstract. It's like not.
Exactly.
It's not real.
Trying to get my numbers to go up here.
Right. I'm trying to level up.
Oh, God, man.
So I'm very curious what's going to happen next, because in my game, Undine's still alive.
Yeah.
And in yours, he is not.
Very dead. So I'm going to have a very different relationship with Papyrus and others, I assume, moving forward.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can go back, because there was a point where I tried to play the piano, didn't have the notes, and then was being chased or something. I can't remember. And I got put up onto like a ledge that I couldn't come back down from. And I was like, oh, that's a bummer. I can't go back. But then I was able to go back and found you had mentioned to me off mic about the umbrella with the statue, and I found the notes there, and I played the piano and found the like legendary orb or whatever. Yeah, the artifact that did nothing. Like all of a sudden there was a dog in my inventory.
Oh my God, that is so hilarious. You're like, oh, this legendary artifact, and you try and pick it up, and it says, you have too many dogs in your inventory. You're like, what?
What's happening here? When did I pick up a dog?
And then you drop the dog out of your inventory, and it absorbs the artifact and runs off. And I don't know if you noticed, but in your inventory after that, you have dog residue.
I did notice that, yeah.
Yeah.
What did I do with the dog residue, though? That's what I can't remember.
I don't think it's a healing item or anything. I think I just dropped it. But
okay, maybe I did as well. I was like, did I eat it? I hope not. God.
Yeah, what is dog residue? It's probably not something you want to eat.
Yeah, I'm not going to put anything past me at this point.
It's funny, too, because you go with all these steps to solve this puzzle, and then you get the puzzle, and there's no actual reward. I mean, there's a laugh.
You get a laugh. Yeah, it's basically like, haha, this happens in RPGs a lot, and you usually get something really cool, but guess what? You get nothing. We're just fucking with the player at this point, which is, I appreciate. I get that that's what this game is, at least in one sliver of what this game's experience is.
Right, subverting the expectations.
Yeah, at every turn. And I don't know if I've played a game, I can't remember playing a game that does it like this, or so much, I should say. Because I think sometimes it would maybe not respect your time, like that whole thing. Like I purposely went back. Like I added time to my gameplay to go back and see if I could do it. And then it was for nothing but the laugh. And I felt like that was probably worth it for me. It was an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it's just so out of left field.
It was, absolutely.
Yeah, certainly like regular games, regular RPGs might fuck with you once in a while. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, you thought there's going to be something here, but really there's you're going to get killed. But here it's much more like systematic, or, they do it a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. I do think you do get to go back, because I don't know if you looked around at all from the last save point in Hotland, but just like south is a boatman who can take you to Snowdin or back to Waterfall.
Interesting. I did go south, but I didn't know. I mean, I just stopped basically. I'm like, I just wanted to look like what's south, what's west, what's east. Or I knew what was west. I couldn't go north because those two guys were staying there. I went east to see what was there. Okay, but I didn't go anywhere because I didn't know. I didn't want to continue on at that point.
Yeah, but I did just test him out because I figured he probably went back to Waterfall because there's like a point in Waterfall where you come to a very similar looking screen as that one, but it's empty. And so I thought, he probably goes back. It takes you back to that point in Waterfall. But when you talk to him, he actually says, do you want to go to Snowdin or Waterfall?
Interesting.
So that's interesting. You can go all the way back to Snowdin.
So you basically unlocked fast travel, it seems like.
Yeah. And then I called Papyrus just to see if he would say anything. And he actually says, you should come to Snowdin. I've been working on something for you.
Oh, interesting. I
don't know what it is. I haven't seen that part yet.
Something nice, as opposed to if I go, he'd be like, "Hey, I've got this. I'm ready to kill you." Basically, that's
friendship
cool.
Present for you to give this to Undine.
Yeah, could you give this to Undine, please? Now, about that. I can't, and I'm really sorry. I wish I could, but I'm a terrible person.
You're just a boy trying to get home.
I am. That's right. I'm by any means necessary.
You did, yeah. So you said before, like, I tried to spare Undine, which, at the end, after you killed her, you tried to spare her. You didn't really do a lot of sparing before that.
I started off the fight by sparing her.
Right, and she's like,
one time,
no,
and she's like, hell no. I was like, all right, okay, we're on. It's on then.
Yeah.
I guess this is not going to end well.
Yeah. But so she's dead now.
But now she's dead. So my gameplay, we diverge quite a bit from here forward.
Well, so I'm curious, is it really going to change all that much, or is it just?
I am curious too. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see that. Because before, we had different experiences, but they really had kind of led to the same place.
Sure. Yeah.
Like when I had flirted with Papyrus and his boss fight, and ended up going on a date with him. And that ended up being sort of almost identical to you're not flirting with him and fighting him.
Right.
And then ending up in a hang with him.
Yeah, we ended up doing the same thing. Very, very similar. I think there's maybe some flavor text that was different.
Yeah. But I don't know, the whole character is gone now, so I don't know if that could actually be the same, or I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for us to find out. Again, as always, I'm glad that you're on this journey with me. It's making it much, very enjoyable to share with someone along the way.
Right, and particularly we get to see the two different paths also.
Yeah.
I would have had no idea that you could even do the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, because you were, like you said, you're like, this is literally an impossible fight. This cannot be won. So I'm going to do whatever I can do to get out of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I assume that the game was saying you can't beat her. You're going to have to try and figure out a different solution. And then a solution presented itself. So I was like, I did the right thing. But there was different ways to go. I didn't even realize.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more to this game that I didn't realize. Or I did not realize. And there was some sort of lit up path.
That puzzle.
Yeah, that puzzle, and I don't know if it led me anywhere that I can recall, but it was interesting. I
think you just have to get through it to get to the next screen. That's the last thing before Undine.
Yeah, sure.
I'm even not quite sure what the puzzle was, except that you had to leave the crystals on or something.
Yeah, basically hitting the switch in the right order to get the path to light up for you to continue to go, I guess.
Oh, right. You had to turn some lights off at certain times and then turn them back on at other times.
Mm-hmm.
To get through, that's right.
Yeah, that's what all it seemed.
Yeah. Yeah, the puzzles are all sort of basic, which is, I think, kind of good, actually, because it's nothing worse than hitting your head against a puzzle.
Yeah.
For a long time and not having no idea what the answer is. Whereas these are usually pretty straightforward. I have to do, there's some obvious mechanism, and then it's just a matter of figuring out what the mechanism, how to apply it.
Yeah, they're more interesting than difficult.
Yeah.
And I played some games like Baba Is You. I don't know if you've heard or seen or played that game. It is, wow. The puzzles are insane.
Really?
Right from the jump, too. You should look up a YouTube video later of Baba Is You.
Like BABA?
BABA, yeah. Baba Is You. And there's other games like The Witness, too, if you played that, where like the whole environment's a puzzle.
Like a puzzle game.
Yeah, exactly. They're both puzzle games, but those are more like on a very cerebral level, whereas this is like, here's a fun thing to do to kind of, puzzle through, but it's not meant to destroy your brain and treat you like you're a moron because you can't figure out this simple puzzle that's not really simple at all.
Right, and then you're like bang your head against it. You're like, what am I doing wrong? What's going on?
Yes, exactly.
And you feel like you look it up online, just feel like, oh, I failed.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh wait, this was the answer.
Yep, exactly.
It's is you.
Yeah, the pixel graphics very similar to what we're playing with here, but the puzzles are just crazy. Because for example, you can push things in the environment where you might see in the puzzle level, something that has 3 tiles left to right that reads "Baba is you." But then if you move a tile and replace Baba with like rock, then all of a sudden you become the rock and you're like on some other part of the map and then you continue the puzzle. It's very interesting. So, yeah. I recommend it, but I only recommend it from having played it for an hour and then having hit a hard wall and bouncing very hard off of it. So
you never played past that point. You played for an hour and then we're just like, I'm done.
Pretty much, yeah. I never came back to it because it was every time. That's not true. I came back like 2 or 3 times to see if I could get anywhere. And I was like, I could not. I'm too stupid for this game.
Well, the thing is, it's not even like stupid. It's just, you're not thinking. The author has a solution in mind. And maybe your brain just like is not seeing the solution. You're just focusing on the wrong thing, or.
Yeah, and that's the difference between that and like Breath of the Wild, where like in Baba Is You, there really is one solution as far as I know. Each one has one solution. So I'm not seeing it using their language, whereas like Breath of the Wild, there's like a shrine with 6 solutions. Or Tears of the Kingdom, 12 solutions. Yeah, like Tears of the Kingdom, there's like you can approach a puzzle. Like they set a puzzle up and you can do it the way that they intended or slightly differently or completely differently, and everything is meant to work. So it's really cool. I like that kind of puzzle design because, I can play it and then my daughter can play it or my wife can play it and like all have very different solutions and like just surprise each other by like, holy shit, I didn't know that would work. Those kind of work. Yeah, those kind of experiences and stories are fun when you're having the water cooler moment around those games versus ones where it's one solution and you're all just can't see it. That's not very fun.
Like your brain has to be like in a certain mode, or you have to be able to see things in a certain angle to like figure out that one solution.
Exactly. Yeah, and sometimes you're just not there.
That's interesting about the Zelda games. I haven't played them.
Oh my god! Like my top.
I know they're very highly regarded. Everyone says you have to play them, but I haven't done console gaming since I was a kid.
Oh right! Oh my god! I just need to walk over to your house and give you my Switch for a weekend.
All right, my daughter would love that.
Yeah, they're so good for that openness. So yeah, totally recommended.
Okay.
Yeah.
If only Nintendo would make games for the PC.
Never gonna happen. I know Xbox is. I know PlayStation is. Nintendo's like, you know what? Our walled garden is fine. We have so much money, we can fuck up in perpetuity for decades and never run out of money. It's crazy how much money they got. Well, that's another podcast. Anything else about Waterfall or Undertale for the good of this podcast?
I don't know. I liked it. It was bigger than the other sections, so it feels like the world became more expansive. There wasn't as much sands and papyrus, which I wanted to see more of them. But I guess this was more of like you running from danger.
I felt like the whole time.
The sense of Undine's like on your tail the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Although there was that thing you run into sands and he has a telescope.
Yep, he has a telescope, and also I ran into sands because we went to the Grillby's or whatever to have dinner, which you had mentioned in the last podcast, but it was at the beginning of Waterfall.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was there a couple of times. The telescopes were interesting. There's only one that I thought was useful where it showed, like, check the wall. But the other one was just, like, all red. I don't remember there being anything of note there. I may be missing.
When you come away from the telescope, you have a ring around your eye.
Oh, my God. Seriously? I didn't notice that. So it's
but
just
it goes away as soon as you change zones, like as soon as you go to a different room.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a blink and you miss it kind of thing.
Got it. So, like, ink on the...
Right. You see it, and like you look through the telescope, and it's all like orange or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like solid wall, and you're like, what? And then you get out of it, and then you have like an orange ring around your eye.
Totally. Okay, that makes more sense now. There's always something. Everything's very intentional in this game so far.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some like side monsters. Like I'm wondering, like they have conversations or something, and I'm like, there's like a monster that calls you a star. I think. Like a little guy. Right by the telescope with Sans, actually. Mm-hmm. He says, like, are you a star?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I thought
what does that mean?
I took that to mean, like, you're something I've never seen before, and I've never seen stars either. Are you what they... Oh, right. That's how I took it. Just because of the signs around talking about the monsters can't see stars anymore, and then that's where I heard that piece of dialogue.
Right. That's good. So. Yeah, I think that's probably correct. At the time, I was like, no, I'm not a star. Like, what are you talking about?
Do you mean a rock star? Maybe.
Right. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, it's probably, like you said, they've never seen stars. And they've never seen a human.
Yeah, especially it was a young monster, right? It's like, what? I've heard of these things. I've never seen them. I don't know what you are. I've never seen you. You must be the star they're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
That's a guess.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what's next and also seeing what Papyrus has cooked up for me.
Yeah, that's where we're going to see how this diverges. Because if he's as cool with me as he is with you, then maybe there's not a much difference. But I kind of doubt that's going to be the case. But we'll see.
What matters, does he know like that Undine's dead? Like, how does he find out?
That's true. Like, does he know Undine's dead? Does he know that you're the one that killed, or I'm the one that killed her? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
So much to see. Next podcast, I'm assuming at least, that it'll cover Hotland. Because Waterfall was so expansive, it took just one. We'll probably do the same thing for the next podcast and cover the next area.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening. If you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice. And we will be back next week with more Undertale.